overall station is a dancehall star. An overall station. Murder all at the station. Overall, we love you in every way. Overall, killer jumping station every day. And I know why.
I'm feeling this aura. Yeah, that's the deal in this
live and overall setting.
I'm your vice and to the world, ambassador to the universe, and we represent overall setting.
Splash the artist, sing a splash. Yeah, man. Overall set.
Yo, big respects to original Dan Raja, Apache Indian in the place. Catch me on overall setting.
This is Shinehead. I found out. So here what? As pertain to the overall setting.
And for the main devices, you know, say a prostant from where you know the dose straight out. And watching the kids, I represent the overall setting.
Hey yo, check this out. This is Anthony Cruz live and direct, and I'm here to tell you about the Don't Know overall setting scene.
This is Silver Cat, aka Iron Claw. And I will be on the overall podcast setting.
From me see the face and hear the voice, them know say Rasta British, the true leader. I'll be featured live on overall settings podcast.
Bonjour tout le monde. You know it's me, your girl Joe, now presenting with the Overall Settings podcast show.
Hey, them know fearless wonder. I'm here represent the overall setting.
Catch me live on overall. This is J Warren, and you can check me out live on overall podcast.
Not gonna make them nice.
What's put me the Salaman and Chigana overall? Milad. You call me Sammy T. Bad boy a fire every 16. Holy man a fire AK-47. But soldier man, him a fire is the love.
Does one need to be a Rasta to sing reggae? Are they trying to kill reggae? From the ghettos of Trenchtown, Jamaica, a still impoverished spiritual background of tension, bridled in the birthplace of the sweetest vibration of music that brings to life the heartbeat and love. Reggae music, roots and culture, the true grail. One drop made from ska to rock steady. Beverly Kelso, Toots Ebert and Lee Scratch Perry. Roots and culture. Ciao Rastafari. This your daughter Marilyn, a Ras Dumpling. Singing it out for the youth. Singing it out for all humanity. One heart, one soul, one destiny. Roots and culture. Roots and culture. Culture. Roots and culture. Teach the children roots and culture. Never more important. No games, no laughter. Fluid like water. I am my father's daughter. This is some perilous times. Trying to rush to keep up with the time. But the law of nature is never a crime. And just love is on time. Roots and culture. Roots and culture. Roots and culture. There is no other. Just allow yourself the time and stay united, ye nations. I'll go jump on this beat that Yahweh created. Campaigners to live the nation ages. Sing about it. This ain't no race thing. Teach about it, there's no debating. Roots and culture. Roots and culture. Roots and culture. Teach your children roots and culture. When Marcus spoke, then Baruch celebrated, singing truth and rights. It will lay us. One drop made from ska to rock steady. Beverly Kelso to Ebert and Lee Scratch Perry. Roots and culture. Roots and culture. Roots and culture. Teach your children roots and culture. From Jamaica to the motherland, Miami, Zimbabwe, the Holy Land. Roots and culture. 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 Teach them there is no other one way.
Overall station is a dancehall star. An overall station, murder all other station. Overall, we love you in every way. Overall, killer jumping station every day, and I know why.
It's time to celebrate. I took the mask off. I never take that shot, but it's my time now. Come feel my cup, let's celebrate. Hey, hey, let's party today. Hey, hey, it's gonna go my way. Hey, hey, let's celebrate. Hey, hey. Celebration, it's alright. It's alright. Yeah, it's time to celebrate. I took the mask off. I never take that shot, but it's my time now. Come feel my cup, let's celebrate. Hey, hey, let's party today. Hey, hey, it's gonna go my way. Hey, hey, let's celebrate. Hey, hey. Celebration, it's alright. It's alright. Yeah, it's been a struggle all my life. I tell you, don't worry about a thing. I'm alright. I'm alright. I'm alright. Yeah, I'm alright. Let's celebrate. Hey, hey, let's party today. Hey, hey, it's gonna go my way. Hey, hey, let's celebrate. Hey, hey. Celebration, it's alright. It's alright. Yeah, level up, level up. Level up, level up. Tell the devil cut. Clean way is up. Come a little closer. Let's toast mimosa. Start the party up. Come fill my cup. Let's celebrate. Hey, hey, let's party today. Hey, hey, it's gonna go my way. Hey, hey, let's celebrate. Hey, hey. Celebration, it's alright. It's alright. Yeah, it's been a struggle all my life. Tell you, don't worry about a thing. Don't worry, I'm alright. I've got life. Don't worry about a thing. Let's celebrate. Hey, hey, let's party today. Hey, hey, it's gonna go my way. Hey, hey, let's celebrate. Hey, hey. Celebration, it's alright. It's alright.
Ready. Celebrate. It's alright. It's alright. Yo. Yeah, me always love the party. Me always love the party song them, brother. Me not gonna lie to you. You know, me love the party song them. You know, I always, yeah, man, song them, and them versatile.
Yeah,
You know,
very
me I said
versatile.
very versatile. You know, me I said so it shows a wide range of versatility on the artist part. You know, what I mean, big up Falco the General. You know, what I mean, he carried 2 artists over upon the platform last week, and he carried 2 more this week again. You know what I mean? So you already know Falco the General settings,
Yeah, man.
real family. You know what I mean? Grand spin, stand up. You know what I mean? All grand spin heights. You know what I mean? Just go and big up on yourself, big up on the status. You don't know how the thing go. Welcome to another episode of Overall Settings, the podcast that differs, where we highlight the icons of yesteryear, who chop the bush for the current icons of today, who set the stage for the future icons of tomorrow. But one of the things that we pride ourselves on over yassa is for always bring forth who?
You want to find them first, you know?
The diamond them in the rough.
Find them first.
You know what I say? You know what I mean? And trust me, the amount of artists that we've had the opportunity to come across, rub shoulders with, since we've been doing this platform, and we always come across the diamond them in the rough. And one of the things them what we always do over here is always give people them flowers while them there. We don't wait till winter and then name gone in our lights. We don't wait till winter and then drop out and acknowledge them. We acknowledge them from early out. You know what I say? Because like I say, one of the thing where you always have to acknowledge is that anybody could be anywhere in the world, and if they choose to spend time with you that they can never get back, you have to commend them for it.
What do you mean?
Yeah, man, you have to appreciate love them feet. You know what I'm saying?
We appreciate love this young lady today.
Yeah, man,
so
for
much.
real. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome to the Overall Settings platform, Marilana Ras Dumpling. What fit one? Mama.
Salute.
Yeah, man. Big up yourself. It's your birthday weekend, so.
Yes, I was born on Labor Day. Actually,
wow.
This is about the time, 5 o'clock on a Sunday, Labor Day weekend.
Wow. So we
but
want to acknowledge that fact
like
as well. You know what I mean? Big up yourself by your earth strong. You know what I mean? And how fortunate are we to have you spend your birthday with us? You know what I mean? Like, we feel special,
Yes, man. I told you before off air. I'm supposed to be up in Connecticut. We gotta give them a shout out tonight. Damien New Money with you said your artist Cyclone and the Angel. Yeah, man, are opening up tonight at the party. So my son is Spencer and his dad is Damien New Money. Yeah, man. So shout them out. He's got Jamin's Jamaican food restaurant up in New Haven, Connecticut, and tonight the party Bridgeport, Connecticut, the place to be. So yeah, man. But I decided to stay in Florida, actually by myself, to just chill out. I'm really excited to get this tonight. I said, you see, that was meant to be because my son really wanted me to come to the show, and I said, you know what, son, got my own things cooking. I know it'll be a big affair, but just go on, bless them up for us.
For real, man.
Love that. Round of applause for you.
Thank you.
I said, big up yourself, and everybody with the panel live right now. Big up Falco the General. Big up.
Yeah, and all new beginnings, grand spend. You don't know that's my brother. That's my partner, my brother. We're doing.
Mad.
I don't even know if people know the amazing things we've done already. So I'm glad you guys said, the diamond in the rough, and you're catching all that. And again, thank you to Ja. Thank you guys, for having me. Really appreciate love it. Falco and I have the same kind of work mentality, and that's why
love that.
Great miracles behind the scene, and we had to keep forcing each other, like focus on our own personal selves. I have to do it to him from the beginning. I'm like, Falco, you want to be an engineer or you want to be a star? You want to be a star, I'm going to treat you one way, and the same thing. I tell him, you got to keep promoting me, because even now I'm about to do a show and I have an album coming out. It's all collabs. Then I have Roots and Culture EP, which is like, oh my God, it's epic. And I was about to do a show and book a show in Jamaica, and I'm calling all the artists, and Most of them don't know how to give the energy, or they're jealous. And I'm thinking, what am I doing?
Right.
Why am I doing this again? And I'm investing in others, and some of them, they're not even ready.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
man,
proud.
it's this the nature of good people, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's just what good people do, you know what I mean? We've been doing this platform for years. We also had a record label, you know what I mean? Like we can definitely attest to what you're talking about.
Love it. Love
But
it.
right
Yeah, man.
now the focus is on you. It's
Thank
your
you.
day. You know what I
Thank
mean?
you.
And what we like to do over here is go back as far as we possibly can. You know what I mean? I know that you were exposed to, all types of music from a very early age. And I mean, you grew up in a house with siblings. Some of them like disco, some of them like heavy metal. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I know that your dad is you have a Spanish background, Hispanic background as well, right?
Actually Italian, but my dad's Polish, but he
Okay.
raised me on Latin music. Go figure.
Okay, so you just
Yeah.
love so Latin music was
Yeah.
a part of your fabric. Growing up in New York, and I mean, what's that? Long Island.
Yes.
Okay, so let's go back to Long Island before we reach a Florida, before we
Okay.
reach a Jamaica, before we reach the artistry. You know what I mean? What was your earliest memories growing up in Long Island?
I love to share that. Right now, I actually have my one of my doll houses here from a baby. I keep it.
Oh
So
wow,
I'm blessed. I'm blessed. My mom is gone 10 years now, but I grew up with
my
very
condolences.
creative, very, very like awesome parents. They were straight. They didn't drink. They didn't do drugs. They
Mm,
loved each other. They kept the home like stable, things that we just took for granted. My dad was a school teacher.
mm.
I was the first one to be born in what's called Valley Stream, Long Island. Is the only place in the whole world called Valley Stream. That's where I come from. It's the first town, yeah, believe it or not, the first town in Long Island. Shout out to my dad up there, Guy Ferrara. He's still going strong too. At 80,
Wow,
he's gonna be 88 November.
oh, wow,
He's salsa dance champion. We made him produce. We just created a rhythm for him called Mozambique Mambo, which is nuts. It's
wow.
going nuts. We put an artist on it. He just wrote a book.
Mm,
So obviously I grew up, with talented parents, but at the same time, they weren't narcissists either. I
mhm.
was lucky. So they had their own vision, their own dreams, their own creativity. And I kind of was just lucky to kind of raise myself, to be honest. So the
Right,
structure was just there. They
right.
weren't like militant or overbearing. I was raised to have a voice. And music, yeah, music was a big part. My mom, always brought us to like opera
Mm,
and to ballets. She was into the very cultural music or Italian music. Again, my dad really had the biggest Latin stars at his house. Recently,
mm,
I had to put somebody in their place because they think they're a Latin artist now, and they're on my dad's project. They would give me a hard time, and I was like, listen, dude, I'm like, do you have a clue that like except for Tito Puente, my dad had just you name it, like the Fania All Stars, this guy called Orlando Marin. They were
mm,
all at my house in the basement growing up. I was around drums, piano. This is the closest thing I have now. Is my mother gave me this little grand piano, but it's reminding me now that I want to get back to the instrument. So
wow.
I was an artist. I could just sit at the piano and play. I could just sit at the drums and play. I played heavy metal drums. At one time, I was a little bit of an idea to do like the Go-Go's. I thought about bands, but they always scared me. Everybody always scared me from the music. I don't know why. I don't
Mm,
know why. So I kind of forgot I was an artist for a really long time. So that's the growing up. They encouraged me to just do the best. I was a hairstylist. I went to school. I went to college. I studied different. I just was able to explore, but I really put myself into a lot of different careers. No joke.
mm,
So,
mm.
Yeah.
what was your earliest memories of you playing instrument? The drums, the piano.
And so the piano used to be at my grandmother's house in Brooklyn. She had a beautiful Sommer piano. And it's funny now because I really go back to it and remember, like, my mother liked me to play. She would like be washing the dishes after a party, and she'd love to hear me play. But as a little girl, I guess my parents were too busy. Nobody was paying attention to me. It's kind of crazy. Like I got a lot of attention and then I got no attention. It's
Mm.
weird. But my grandmother noticed it. So every time I sat, I always noticed her saying like, "Oh my God, she just sits, she just plays, no piano music, no sheet music. I'm just the type I used to call them destructions. I didn't like directions. Yeah, I put instructions and directions together and I called it destructions. Imagine. So I definitely beat to my own drummer. So that was cool. But probably the most awesome that gives me the guts now is probably about between 15 and 17. My brother was heavy metal. He didn't really he used to make fun of me. He used to tell me I couldn't sing. He's actually sadly dead to me now because he's not nice. He's not been nice to me. He's shown some racial issues. So yeah, he's a contention. And I guess he didn't like it because at 15, 16, 17, I'd be jamming out to, heavy duty, like Ozzy Osbourne, War Pigs, double bass, and we had a basement where if you came down the stairs, you had to come down almost all the way before you could see into the basement. And I just never forget his friends coming down. I'm going to cuss. Can I cuss on here?
Yeah, man.
His friends would come down the basement and look and see me and be like, they'd literally scream, "Holy shit, it's a girl!" Yo, but I tell you that gave me the guts. My son, when I was into the music, he called it the FS business. Cuss because they were scared. They were scared. They continue to be scared, even as I know as an adult, people were scared for me because this music thing is. But that was powerful. So that told me that my brother didn't know what he was talking about. His jealousy obviously was for a reason. But I still didn't do it. I still didn't do it. So imagine. So that's a big part of my platform. And like with Falco and we have this whole Lift the World is to give artists a chance to do it for real. Because my brother loved music. He never recorded anything. He didn't go into any studios. He was hanging out with all the big fancy people. My son will make fun now. Not that we want to, make fun to lift up, but I just feel like my message now is to more parents, like, don't kill the dream. If you see your child has like a talent like that, protect them and cultivate them. Like, I'm still looking for that protection in a way. So like me and Falco just have to go out and test the waters and be brave. I've had to do a lot of it alone. It's just thank God, an amazing journey. And thank you guys for asking those questions.
Yeah, man. So I know that, your exposure to reggae came pretty early, in your life. What was one of the first reggae songs that you ever remember hearing?
Like reggae, it's interesting because I talk to people about it now. Like we didn't have Bob. Like Jamaican perspective of music is they have their own perspective. I don't think anybody in the world gets the perspective of music the way Jamaica gets it. So I think they assume like music is so big in the rest of the world, and it's really not. It's you have to have money, you have to get into the arts. It's kind of on the street, but then it's like nothing until you maybe go professional. So probably the first songs that came was in the clubs, like in the 80s, the crossover stuff. So you heard Bob, but Bob Marley was like in restaurants. We weren't really talking about Bob. Bob to me is like subliminal. He was just there. So I really didn't focus on Bob probably till the 90s and when I first went to Jamaica. But early dancehall would have been like Tony Rebel. When Jah is standing by my side, then why should I be afraid? These are the songs that got into the clubs in Manhattan. They were playing hip hop, but they were playing that crossover. Or no, 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 you don't love me, yes I know now. And then some Beanie Man, like those are the songs that they kind of infiltrated. So you didn't really think about it as reggae and dancehall, but we knew it was like crossover. We knew it was like only the hottest New York City DJs were playing that kind of music. You knew it was something that, you weren't turning on the radio stations and you were hearing it. And then I also I chased everything like in the 80s, 90s, New Age came about, but really reggae, I guess how it came to me so strong is when I went to Jamaica in 1996. I just graduated college as a teacher and had been cutting hair for like 15 years. Shout out to David Henry. David Henry and Neville Garrick actually used to play soccer with Bob Marley. Very close with him. Bob actually stayed in David's home in New York City when he was sick. I think the first bout of cancer when they were trying to help him. And Neville is actually the person that wrote, shout out Neville Garrick. Neville wrote the first Bob Marley movie. He did all their art. their covers and stuff. So my first trip to Jamaica, I went to Trelawney, and then I went to Kingston, and I stayed in Neville's original house, like near the stadium. Oh my gosh, that locked me up in the house. That was scary because they were afraid for me. But he had all the tough gum, like everything, even maybe stuff that wasn't out. I don't know. So when they had me locked in the home, I just had great fruits, great herb, and Bob, like tough gong. So I got to, you know what I mean? Like from him just being subliminal. And then I had like Israeli friends that loved Bob. So the music and the message, like I said, we didn't really pre on what it was. But then when I was in Jamaica and of course with Neville and hearing the stories of Bob, that's when those messages, that's when, you know, and more militant songs started coming to me, like, who the cap fits, let them wear it, you know, and like the real militant. And that's when the message started to come to me, and the whole like Rasta movement. And then I started realizing like I was attracted to dreadlocks. And it was about 15 years ago that I realized I was born a Ras myself. And yeah, and just came into my full, you know, I guess full belief.
So basically, it sounds like your earliest exposure to like reggae, or when it started to like infiltrate your life, was like early 90s.
Yes.
And what was the inspiration behind the trip to Jamaica? Because I mean, most people who aren't from Jamaica probably find themselves at a resort or something like that. You literally like just thrusting yourself into the society, you know what I mean? So like, how did that come about? You know what I mean? Like, I always tell people whenever you're traveling, it makes sense to align yourself with somebody who comes from there, because once you've been to a resort, it's like you've been to every resort. So if you went to a Sandos in Mexico, it's just like going to a Sandos in Jamaica, because
me not like, that's what I'm saying. There's a real Rasta. Me not like that kind of thing. Me not like all inclusive.
What gave you?
Me not like yeah, man, I'm a Rasta. Me not really like those things. Me never gone to inclusives or
Right, exactly. So what inspired this trip? Your first time in Jamaica, you're in Trelawney.
So I
like
knew this guy. Yeah, I knew this guy for like 15 years in the hair business. And he used to like, I didn't know he connected to Marley. I didn't know he had the first reggae club in Germany. I didn't know all that. He was so blown away by me after like 10 years, 15 years of being a hairstylist, going to school to becoming a teacher. He was so nuts that he kept coming more and more to find out about this big transition I was doing. And he was just so impressed. And he just kept saying, when you finish, I'm going to take you to Jamaica. When you finish, when you graduate, I'm going to take you to Jamaica. The funniest thing is he came from like an upper crusty family, like Red Hills, but he knew all people. And I flew separately. This is the funniest part too, which shows you I have guts, I guess. And I'm just meant to be, you know, if I could be born in any place, I probably would have wanted to be born in Jamaica. I was always missing my culture. I flew separately. He was supposed to land in Jamaica ahead of me. And just to show you what you say about all inclusive, my own family and friends were like, Jamaica? Oh, haven't you heard of white slavery? Oh my God. You know, they were freaking. Nobody wanted me to go. Nobody knew I was flying alone. Wow. They wouldn't have let me go. Right. I flew alone. He was supposed to be there ahead of me. I landed in the airport. You can only imagine. I didn't have my address. I didn't know where we were staying. Wow. I just knew Trelawney. They wouldn't let me out with that. They had to know where I was staying. So, oh my God, the customs kept my documentation, my passport, everything. And they said, you could go into the airport and try to find your person, but we're not going to give you any of your documents. Oh my God, imagine. This was in Mobay Airport. At that time, this was 96. You still landed on the tarmac. You didn't pull up to a you didn't pull up to a gate. Right. You actually had to land in the tarmac and get down the stairs of the plane. So that was pretty exciting. Then, you know, I get there. I think he's supposed to be there. So I go down into the airport and oh my gosh, like white on rice, to use that. Every oh my gosh, every taxi driver, every person was, you know, trying to get to me. Wow. And I'm just like I'm scared. I can't talk to anybody. I don't know where I'm going. I have no idea where I'm going. And then it was about 45 minutes, a good 45 minutes, y'all. I'm telling you, nobody in my family even to this day knew that story. all of a sudden I saw David coming through the airport like this, and he had the barf bag,
and he wrote on the barf bag, and he hands it to me. And then we had he knew he just landed, so he knew we had to get my stuff. And so he just hands me the barf bag, and he wrote this long poem, and he was like, will you trust me? Will you hate me when I get there? Will you want to kill me? Will you trust and believe that I'm going to show up for you? Will you trust and believe I'm going to? Yeah, it was a beautiful experience. And then, like I said, when they took me to Trelawney, was nice, big home. It was Duncan's, Silver Sands, so it was upper crusty. We had the lady serving us, and he couldn't even get me good ganja. He didn't smoke. He got me some street stuff. And then when he took me into Kingston at the time, people were like, Kingston, oh my God, you'll get shot in Kingston. And now, as a New Yorker, that's my favorite place. I'm more comfortable in Grand Spend and Tower Hill than I am at a resort or, in the countryside. So it just, now it's like 20 trips later. And then the music I entered of all times during COVID. So again, a whole new Jamaica, scary. And I've been through
wow. So even though, you were exposed to music at a very early age, even though you went to Jamaica, in 96, at that particular time, you weren't focusing on the artistry. So
I forgot about it, to be honest. I even forgot I was an artist. That's the truth.
I wanted to ask this question real quick before. You was such a great heavy metal player. Bass, what was he playing? Bass?
Drums, double bass, like two of the big drums. So 2 feet are going at the same time. Yeah.
I said it, bud.
I was bad. Yeah, when I was really bad.
Yeah. So at that time, did you ever even consider following that type of music at that age?
No, I pretty quickly. No, that was a pretty quick. I don't know. I had a few bands that I liked, and then I kind of got bored of it. Yeah, I got bored. I think at the time I followed my brother a little bit, and I liked some of it. I think I was always, even now, I think really I kind of have my own genre. Like I'd say, definitely reggae is my feeling, so my beliefs will come through in everything. I'd say I love percussion first, but I really like all instruments. I love the harp. I love, so I probably could have gone into any genre, I guess, of music. Yeah. But no, I didn't. It was too much. Some of that metal just starts to give you a headache after a while, It's fun to play 1 or 2. And you get tired. It's a lot of that drumming is, even the piano can be tiring. Yeah, it can be, to me anyway, the physical, it could be very physical.
So, so when did the music infiltrated your life? It was around you from a very tender age. You decided, like you said, you forgot that you were an artist. When did those aspirations of being an artist reawaken,
resurface?
Yeah, when did they resurface?
Yeah, so they were always there. Probably like when I would see an act that I liked, I kind of always felt like I'll be there someday. I was never like oh my God, that actor, or grow up in New York, you hang around Rolling Stones, you're hanging around famous people, so it's like, to me anyway, it was just not a big deal. And I always felt I would be famous. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but just was something in me. So the truth of the matter is I was in music a lot, but behind the scenes. So at 16 in high school, my girlfriend's dad was the record label Delight Records in Manhattan for Kool and the Gang. So I grew up with the original Celebration. That's why I did Celebration again. I said, that song is boring now. It's old. I want to do something new and a little reggae and a little, current. So I was behind the scenes. We went to the show. We went to the studio. Then I had a boyfriend in maybe the 90s who was a young artist. I just had luck like that. I'm in the salon one day and I'm playing his music and I happen to be cutting a guy's hair and he's a BMI executive. Like, imagine.
Wow.
So I just always had kind of that gold finger luck. So I was promoting his music. And I feel like Falco and I, it's kind of that thing. Like Falco obviously committed to his music. I'm committed now, but I'm still like almost ready to jump in to support other people first. So I guess having that in me, I was comfortable behind the scenes. And then comes this second husband who's a performer. I don't want to mention his name. Performer. Used me for green card. Absolutely. Not a nice guy. He was fake. He was a narcissist. I did a song about it. And I was doing everything for him. I set up a record label for him. I was managing. I was like, same thing kind of behind the scenes. And he was having me like do an intro, like, and I realized it was when he needed a female voice or he needed me to, but when I did it, oh my God, the response over my little, like I did a song, I just say, hola, hey girls, you ready to wine? You ready to party? Come wine up. And like, when he would play that song, everybody would freak out over my part. And so inside, he was treating me horrible. And inside, I was just like, oh my God, this guy doesn't even realize the talent I have. He doesn't even realize I'm his wife. And he has no clue that I'm a real artist. And then he would complain about the rhythms he was getting. Oh, I don't get good rhythms. And then he'd get a couple of rhythms and he'd struggle. He'd like struggle to write a song. And I'd be hearing the rhythm and like 3-4 songs would just be coming into my head. So when he left and he walked away like he didn't know me, you know, the narcissist thing. Oh my God, I felt a machete in my side. I felt so much pain. I didn't know what I was going to do. You know, I loved myself, but I was so twisted up from this guy, you know, thinking he was my king. He was my Rasta love that, you know, it was so painful. And I was in a house in Florida. Something happened in the house. It was like, God, just send me oh God, Jah is amazing. And he got me out of the house and I was homeless. And I called my dad. I said, Dad, I got to come back up to New York. I need 6 months. I can't, you know, so I'm in pain from the guy. I go up to New York. Nobody, like the brother, nobody was helping me. Nobody was consoling me. It was like they blamed me that I married a bad guy. Oh my God, the pain was like unbearable. And then I had a friend that was taking me to some shows, like Shinseiya had just come out, and Coffee was just kind of coming out, and then a few people, and started to be some confusion in reggae, and I started getting angry. And then I was literally on stage with Shinseiya. It was a really big show. Ding Dong Ravers Flavors, shout out to him. It was his birthday party. I had known like Bobby Condas. I knew some of the people again behind the scenes, but that trip, it was like they were calling me out. It was like they knew I was coming out before I was coming out. Yeah, like I knew Bobby Condas, but then that night all of a sudden I met him. He gave me a big hug, and he was like on my story, you know, on my stories. But I wasn't really doing music. I was doing it for the husband. And then I'm on stage with Shinseiya, and everybody's just looking at me like double takes, all of them, because they probably figured, who's this artist? And I'm just a lady, you know. But it was crazy. It was just coming really fast. And then Stylo G came out on the Dumpling reggae rhythm. And that's where I got so mad. I loved this song. I was like, wow, he's bringing back dancehall. He's bringing back clean dancehall, hardcore rhythms, you know, with a meaning and with fun, like an Elephant Man. And I was all on board. And then I don't know what happened, but he never put it out with just him. All of a sudden he had Sean Paul and Spice jump on it. Spice was like, my bank account bigger than my front. And I'm like, oh, come on, Spice. You know, I thought she would have grown up from Romp and Shot. Like, I feel like she never grew up from that. Everybody loved that. And that was very adult. And I think there's a lane for that. But I felt like dancehall was becoming like just porno. And I'm like, these kids don't want porn. I really was angry, guys. That's the truth. I got freaking angry. And I'm like, no, man, I got to come out. I got to come out. I got to show them that, you know, I'm a Rasta. I'm a, like, you know, New York complexion. And like Shinseiya, same thing. The beginning, she came out, no makeup. She looked beautiful. She was so talented. And then her second song was porn. It was like fingering herself. And oh my God, it like hurt me down to my like womanhood. I just felt the pain.
Stick up in. As bad of an experience that you had with your second husband, I think you owe him some thanks. You know what I mean? For the simple fact that it actually inspired you.
Absolutely.
Yes. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so it's like
life happens.
Somebody said something that was very profound to me. They said everything in life has use. You know, so whether it's good or bad, you know what I mean? In his eyesight, him tearing you down was probably a good thing to him. And at that particular time when you felt like the machete in your side and you know you were homeless, you had to hit rock bottom. But maybe if everything was all fine and dandy with him, you probably wouldn't even have ventured into the music.
imagine. Yes, that's that. Of course, that's the
You see what I'm
beautiful.
saying? So it's like, you know, I mean, not. I'm just saying it in a figurative way. Like, yeah, you thank him. You know what I mean? Like, you know,
Yeah.
like
I thank God. I don't know if I thank him, but I
no, I
thank
mean,
God.
I'm just saying, you know, I'm just, you know, because if he never showed you that side, then probably
That's
you know,
true.
like
That's
I
true.
said, you probably would have been comfortable just being this
Even
this
even the
house.
brother, yeah, man. Even the brother, they give you the backbone, absolutely. And I've
You
been through
probably would have
horrible
been.
things in
You
this
know what this
industry, but
kind
I'm
of,
like, it's just my flesh,
you know what
just
this
my
kind
flesh.
of remind me in a small way, like Tina Turner.
Yeah, exactly.
You
Like
know,
Ike.
Wow,
like
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah.
yeah,
So you know, like,
I love her, by the way, man. When
yeah.
I was shocked when yo, her show, I got to see her live once, man. Oh my God, I would have loved to speak to her. Yeah, there's a couple people like that I'd love to speak to her. I saw her one show where she came like flying over the stage, and yeah, the day she passed recently, I felt it because man, the guts. Yeah, she just walked right through and stepped right through. So yeah,
Yeah,
I know
because
we don't want to mention our haters sometimes, but
you guys story
similar.
is like kind of parallel in a sense. You know what I mean? Because you know, a bad experience, something good came from it. You know what I mean? So
And she
yes,
was a
his friends actually said it. The funniest thing is it was his friends. Again, before I made the decision, they were like, "Oh, don't worry. Everything you did for the music, that was for you. That was for you." And I'm thinking, how do they know this? Like they didn't know. Nobody had a clue. So it was that's the part that I say is like the mystical part. Like, yes. And the guy, even though he was like a narcissist, um, he was intrigued by me. You know, he was like bothered by me, but then he was intrigued by me. So he used to say to me, I don't understand why your brother doesn't like you. I don't and he came to the conclusion that he told me they were jealous of me. And that's like a gift for a narcissist to realize that people are jealous of you and say that. So he did some horrible things, but at the same time, like I was so nuffy that he couldn't even continue his negativity. He just had to leave. So no, it is a blessing.
when
I
you
couldn't even
realize
imagine my life.
when you the key element to all of that is that you realized and you were able to remove yourself from the situation, because there's a lot of people, you know, who have succumbed to, you know, people in their narcissistic ways. You know what I mean? You know, so you're one of the survivors. You know what I mean? So you know, big up you for that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
And let me
so-
ask this question: how happy are you right now?
Oh my God. You know what? When I have two songs, by the way, Realize, which is huge also right now. It's trending with Magic Flute, big artist. That one changed my life. And it's about that experience. Like that came into a lot of my writing, obviously. And when he left, you know, and people told me he was a narcissist, they said the goal is to like, you know, love yourself again, love yourself again. So I set on this journey to like love myself. But a few months in, once I started feeling well and I decided to do this music thing, oh my God, like I fell in love with myself and I didn't even know that that was possible. So yeah, that's that.
Yeah, big up yourself for that, man.
The fire,
Big up.
I was like, and then the music was just burning in me.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
and I started writing, I'm like, oh my God, like it was just like a faucet was closed, you know, closed so tight. But like I didn't even know I was being blocked up, you know. It's really fascinating. And now, yeah, man, the faucet now, oh my God, I can't even imagine. We're doing it, you know, we're lifting the world. We've really been doing amazing things.
Magic
We even have
come here so fit tell all of the people them the truth. Oh yeah.
I feel it.
Well, alright. We tell them.
Sometimes you realize. Sometimes you just gotta realize. Realize. Sometimes you just gotta realize. Sometimes you realize the disguise is right in front of your eyes.
Yes, I.
Mariana, Ras Dumpling, and Magic Float. Come here so fit tell all of the people them the truth. Oh yeah.
I feel it.
Well, alright. We tell them.
Sometimes you realize. Sometimes you just gotta realize. Realize. Sometimes you just gotta realize. Sometimes you realize the disguise is right in front of your eyes. Sometimes you realize the biggest fault is your own. So fix it. Sometimes you realize it's the devil. Sometimes you realize it's temptation. Sometimes you realize we're one nation. Sometimes you, I see the pain right in front of your face. That's a history you can't erase. We're just human, this ain't no dang race. We're just human.
Well, oh, we take so long. For the youth, them see the truth. We all are one, now watch the different attributes. Well, to look, you cannot put the stem before the root. Cause them have to work together in order to be the future. Let's show some love. Because on the by way skin color, the Almighty I got judge way. When push come to shove, we set an example when we show love to people when I love we. That's why we have to wise up and make the right choice in a life. You feel mind how you roll your dice. Try to think it over even when you think twice. Cause you might die by your own knife.
Sometimes you realize it's the devil. Sometimes you realize it's temptation. Sometimes you realize we're one nation. Sometimes you realize it's the devil. Sometimes you realize it's temptation. Sometimes you realize we're one nation. Sometimes you.
Yeah, man, you know what them say. You know me always I said there's no testimony without test. There's no message without mess. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, for those of you who don't know, this is a personal testament, you know, from Ras Dumpling. It have been and basically she's elaborating on her own
Experiences,
personal
you know?
experience. You know what I'm saying? And that's how the thing come down.
And those type of songs are always the best songs.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Always the best
Yeah,
songs.
somebody tell me, somebody look at me already and tell me, say, if me never have the type of problem when me having in my life, me could not create a good song. Because every song is from my personal experience.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like Bob was not the greatest singer, you know. But you feel every single song when Bob sing to your core.
Yeah, man.
Bob released song from back in the 60s that's still relevant to what right now.
Yes. He had a human quality. I'm glad you said it like that because he get flack sometimes, you know. Some people say he wasn't the best singer or the Wailers were bigger or this or that or because he was white skin and the white people. And no, he had a I guess a human, you know, a humbleness about
He had
him.
an anointment. He had an anointment. Like, you know what we say over here, sir? Ras Dumpling. We say, you have people who are born for do things and you have people who want for do things.
Yes.
Bob was one of them who born for do it.
Yes. Thank you to Bob. Yeah, and by the way, if I can, our logo, just so you can see the Clean Ray logo, is about that. It's the penny. This one is more of a gold coin, but the original one is a penny and the diamond. And because we feel the pressure, you know, pennies, like we're pennies. The artists are pennies. You know, we don't spend on ourselves. We don't invest, and we don't spend a lot. You know, it's the heart. It's the heart that Falco and I have really. So those pennies with a little pressure and a little guidance, we're making diamonds. You know,
so let's talk about Clean Ray now. You know what I mean? You know, at the end of the day, you're not only just a solo artist, you're also a brand, you're a record label. You know what I mean? How did that particular endeavor come about? You know what I mean? Like how did you decide to come up with this label? Who are some of the artists on the label? Who are some of the people involved with the label?
Man, so it kind of goes back to the same story of like the fear, you know, knowing as a little girl, like the devil's in the industry and you need protection, you need good lawyers, you need, you know, my mother kind of always used to say that. She used to say, you need to marry rich. But she made me like that. She made me into the arts. I wasn't really a rich person. I didn't really have expensive taste, as you would say. I was more a ragamuffin, but I love beautiful clothes and beautiful things. But I was always the ragamuffin. They always called me Wild Girl and nuts and all these things. I again had great parentage, great guidance, you know. Um, so I knew that I needed that protection. So once I decided to do the music, you know, or my son said this FS stuff, I said I need a lot of protection. So I started. Why did I come up with the name? Well, I nearly died from toxic mold at this husband that I was with. I had dreadlocks. Again, I was doing a little music with him. I was doing a little production. I was even a label with him, you know. But I didn't go to that level, the seriousness, because he wasn't driving that energy. So now I'm going into it. And it was actually about 2 years before COVID. I had, again, dreadlocks down to my waist. And I was living in this home and mold was growing. And I got really sick. I nearly died. So on top of that, and the husband not being straight, like it was scary. I had to shave off my locks. About 6 months in, I was seeing this special doctor to try to save my life. And I was natural. I thought I was natural already. I was like organic, you know, I didn't color my hair. I didn't really wear nail polish, you know, chemicals. But she taught me a whole different way of life. She taught me about the food sources and that how now the food is very toxic and very mold, a lot of mold in the food crops. And she discovered that I was what they call a moldy. 1 in 25% is so people that are so sensitive to mold and these chemicals, it'll kill us. So I was dying. She said, I don't know that I'm going to save your life. It's going to be a soul's journey. So now again, I start healing. I'm starting this, but the husband, oh my gosh, I mean, it was really. So I started 6 months in, I was having some success and I was feeling really well. And the doctors were telling me I should do a YouTube channel and show people how to get healthy. So I started. What she talked about was like what you're eating and how your digestion is so important and what comes out of you. Like literally what's in your toilet is like your health. So at first was going to be called The Clean Way Out, was going to be the health channel. I said, no, I don't want to focus on poop. You know, I want to focus on what's going in, not what's coming out. So it became The Clean Way with Mary Lena. And 6 months into my health regimen, I mean, it's huge. It's a whole, you'd have to have a whole show about that. I felt so freaking good. I said, I don't want to teach people about health. What do I really want to do? What's the real guts that I have? And I was like, I want to sing and dance. I've always wanted to sing and dance. So it was like, that was really, so it wasn't the X. It wasn't all, it was really almost nearly dying, being so sick. And then coming back from that and starting to see my beauty again. And I was like, nah, man, I'm taking on the world. So it was just all that culmination. And then from The Clean Way with Mary Lena, it became Clean Way Records. And then I'm actually Clean Way Records Music. So I'm actually officially a publisher. I'm a producer. I mean, we're really doing everything except making beats. Like Falco doesn't make beats for some reason, and I don't. I'm starting to know now. Roots and Culture is all, I did all instrumentation on top of that. And now all the reggae tracks going forward. My goal is everybody goes out on a different reggae track. I'm getting my artists to start to think about sound, even if they don't play an instrument. I play a bowl of shells in Roots and Culture. Yeah, man, I just got creative with the sounds.
So Falco is involved in Clean Way as well.
So Falco's one of the first people I met in the music groups, and we just respected each other's music. Mm-hmm. This is about 4 or 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. And then Falco was an engineer for a studio called Mad Boss Production. Also at a Grand Spend. And Mad Boss started calling me. I'm trying to think exactly what, I don't know, the label just, Clean Way Records just started getting attention, like, even when it was just a name. It was just a name, like, protecting me. I mean, I was looking into the business side of it, but, you know what I mean? It wasn't doing anything yet, but it really started taking off. So this Mad Boss called me, and he said he was having trouble putting out music. Nobody was, like, distributing his music, or I don't know exactly how it happened, but basically he wanted my help. So I became a publisher for Mad Boss Production. And again, Falco was the engineer. Wow. And again, Falco and I knew each other even way before that. I don't know if Mad Boss knew that. Falco and I just kind of had a bond. And then about 6 months into working with Mad Boss, I became a publisher. I was learning how to publish music. I was getting music takedowns. I was like doing the legal part. He wasn't really paying me for that. and then some things happened, and I didn't like how. And I had come into Jamaica. One time to the studio, so I met Falco in person that day. We just clicked, you know. He just called me sister instantly. He loved my rhythms. We started voicing together. We just had a great bond. We also do a really big song together. I don't know if you heard, called "No Heaven on Earth." It's massive. He said when people heard it, they felt like I'm an artist. It's been around forever. And then, Mad Boss messed up. Mad Boss kind of disrespect Falco. I didn't like that. Right. And then Falco was like, Ras Dumpling, why don't we just do the same thing?
Wow.
So he did the same thing. So Falco started New Beginning. First, he actually started, he had another name before New Beginnings. And then we all went through some problems again. Right. And then came up with the New Beginning. So the goal, hopefully, and I try to tell them to keep that, is that Cleanway Records will stay the publisher. You know? So Falco voices a lot of the artists through Cleanway. He voices them on his own. Cleanway Records now has gone so big that we are working with producers all around the world, even like Falco. More and more people want to join us. Shout out Uncle Major Beats right now. Cheeky Don out of Sav.
Mad.
Yeah, just every day we have another producer that wants to come on board. They want to voice the artists in their area. I help them get their IP numbers. We help them get into the industry. And then
we need to talk to you because we have a label. We need to talk to you after here because we have a label. So there's certain things where we need to find out from you. We need to talk to our
I've been doing a lot, man. I've been doing a lot. Now I'm trying to be selfish because the goal has been the same. So the goal was with Mad Boss and Falco to build our Cleanway Records channel, to get 1 million views. We're almost there. We got like 720,000. I got like 4.
Congratulations.
Yeah, we did it. I got 440 on my Ras Dumpling. And now it's just, we knew the idea was like, get me out, get me performing, or whichever artist. We knew like one artist could bust the label. Yeah. Oh my God. This is some of Falco's best writing. You know, he's amazing.
Tell us something about this song before we play.
So this is really cool too. So I got this beat from somebody when I first came into the industry before I was really official. And Falco loved it, but I didn't know who owned the beat. I was told I could put it out. So again, fast forward when I came in that time and I met Falco for the first time at the studio, he's like, Ras Dumpling, I'm voicing this song. I want you to come on it. And I was writing my own song on the rhythm. So he's like, I got this great song. I said, Falco, I got to tell you something. I said, I don't know who owns this rhythm. You sure you want to go on it? And he's like, yes, Ras Dumpling, this rhythm is bad. I'll take the chance. I said, you sure, Falco? Because, you know, I don't want to mess you up. We're about the money. And he loved that. He said, Ras Dumpling, you're a woman with a vision. I'm with you all the way. And he always has been. I'm proud of him like that. A lot of people come around me and they try to fight my vision. They try to control me. It's crazy. So he's like, I got this song. I said, Falco, no, I'm confused. I'm still writing my song on the rhythm. He's like, I don't care. Go in the booth. So he had pretty much already done his part. And that was it. I went in the booth and just fly. Grab your heart and your soul and just fly. When I heard his lyrics. Yeah, man. It's bad. Falco's like,
no heaven, there's no heaven on earth. Just fly. No heaven. Grab your heart and your soul and just fly. There's no heaven on earth. Just fly, just fly, just fly. Life is so sweet, but there is no heaven on earth. No heaven on earth, no heaven on earth. No sleep, mind heavy and work. And nickel and diamond, know where every man work. No peace. No heaven, there's no heaven on earth. Just fly. No heaven on earth. Grab your heart and your soul and just fly. There's no heaven on earth. Just fly, just fly, just fly. Life is so sweet, but there is no heaven on earth. No heaven on earth, no heaven on earth. No sleep, mind heavy and work. And nickel and diamond know where every man worth. No peace here, some every shot burst. I live life until the day you see that. Yeah, walk on my tongue man surf. Life nice, but there's no heaven and earth.
The right time is coming. Which side are you coming? We don't live long enough to make our own mistakes.
People nowadays done no loving. I feel careful in the earth, they're for cunning. When you're back against the wall, who you call friend, they running. And the man no perfect pass, no tell me you have nothing. Real talk on every man all stop. Me sure some me bless now, me never doubt that. Pressure reach up when you can't keep your mouth locked. Me live free, can't put myself in a box.
Just fly.
No heaven.
Grab your heart and your soul and just fly.
There's no heaven on earth.
Just fly, just fly, just fly.
Life is so sweet, but there is no heaven on earth. No heaven on earth, no heaven on earth. No sleep, mind heavy and work. And nickel and diamond know where every man worth. No peace here, some every shot burst. I live life until the day you see that. Can't walk on my tongue man surf. Life nice, but there's no heaven on earth. Too much crocodile tears, people lack smile. My heart is show love, cause people hostile. Open my doors for them, but now the lock spoil. Head them to the top in your face, them up pop style. And sometimes up, sometimes down, no. But when they reach the top, them kill them for your crown, no. Me not just a smile that I your frown. If me could have store I water, a long time me drown, no. Long time me not see peace, the street. Not even and it sweep. Life no fear, take a bus, look on the receipt. Can't survive out of this if you will.
Just fly.
No heaven.
Grab your heart and your soul
and just fly. Once again, just fly. No heaven on earth. Yo, bad piece of song. Bad piece of
Falco,
song.
I never know say it's so bad.
Yeah, no, they must have Falco come over here already, you know.
Falco.
Probably you never die when him did over here, but trust me.
Think so.
Falco not normal, brother.
No, and Falco, Falco's so the funny thing about that song is when he said no heaven on earth. And I'm like, no, but there is heaven on earth. I'm thinking right away, I want to say something positive to what he's saying. I'm like, no. I'm like, just fly,
Yeah.
And then it just, man.
No, man, it's bad, man. It's bad.
It was above, like,
you guys really compliment each other on that track. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
It is a song where I definitely I got add it to my playlist. You know what I mean? It a go on.
Yeah, man. I think we each have songs that definitely could have bust. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Some people have a one-hit wonder. Falco, when he was on the show, you should watch. I interviewed him live on my show. I call him the lyrical surfer. Yeah, he just surfs. He surfs the rhythms. You have people different things and stuff. And even when you're in studio, like how he helps artists, he just gives artists.
That's what I was about to say. The one thing that I love.
He's supposed to get a cut. He's supposed to get a cut of every single person's
song. The one thing that I love with Falco the most is his willingness to share.
Yes.
You're not gonna really find that in this business. You know what I mean?
Especially in Jamaica. That's why we're so. That's the miracle of Cleanway. Really, is like what he and I have can't recreate. Right. And I don't think even people real. You asked me some of the artists. I want to give you some of the artists. So we had Magic Flute earlier. Bad artists. We got Excel Black. We got Don Pre. We got Gully Bop. We got a lot of artists. So we got Jero Almighty. We got One Controller. I don't think you guys had on last week. We got George P. We got more and more people coming on every day. Like I've been turning people down, to be honest. The last 6 months I've been turning a lot of people down because the label just went like massive. Some people contact me and they're shocked. Shout out Inner Voice is one. He has a recent collab with Capleton. He called me about a year ago in Jamaica and he heard my collab with Big Pop on the Clarity instrumental. I don't know what Falco did, but Falco went crazy with that rhythm. We voiced like 22 freaking artists on that rhythm. It was nuts. I'm on it twice. He wrote the song for Gully Bop, Not by the Dead. Gully Bop messed up. They should have done the video right away. We would have rebust Gully Bop. Yeah, man, and he did it because he had messed up, and Gully Bop said some nasty things about Falco, and we don't play that, you know. Falco gets in a little trouble because he won't be vocal like in the groups and stuff, and I'm the one. So a lot of times, like, they come after me, and sometimes I think Falco, until recently, he didn't realize. And then he's like, Ras Dumpling, I think I got to start talking to some of these people. I'm like, yeah, Falco, I don't think you realize how they come after me. They won't go to him, but they figure. So when this inner voice called me, he was calling thinking I'm the producer, and he wanted to tell the producer that Ras Dumpling and Big Pop had the best song on this Cloudy instrumental. And he calls, and he hears my voice, and he was like, you know what I mean? Somebody on the other end, he's just got silent, and then he's like, "Wait, is this Cream of Record?" And he's like, "Wait, are you?" And he was realizing, he's like, "Wait a second, you're Ras Dumpling, He's like, I was calling to tell the producer that I'm the producer. He was like, no, oh my god. He's like, you're gonna be bigger than Bob Marley. He's like, mark my words. He said, I'm sure you're getting a hard time. He said that's gonna ease up soon. He said you're gonna be one of the biggest singers and voices ever. And we did a song together called Love and Unity, also a big song. And he taught me some vocal. I'm only now starting to learn. I didn't know anything about vocal. I just knew how things should sound. I studied piano, but not voice. Voice is different. I don't know chord structure and stuff. So I feel like I got to practice on air in front of everybody, really. And
so you were born Marianne Ferrara. Where did Marilana Ras Dumpling, where did the inspiration behind that name come?
So my confirmation name as a militant Catholic is Elena. I picked the name Elena. And I used to love, my girlfriend had, I think her sister was Maria Elena. And I just thought that was a beautiful name. I thought Marianne was boring for me. I never felt like a Marianne. Yeah. So I always wanted something a little more interesting. So I picked Elena as my confirmation name. And then again, before I thought about being an artist, I was Marianne Ferrara on Facebook, and I had a couple of stalkers. So I came up with Mary Elena to hide from the stalkers. And people made fun of me. I guess I just was meant to be. I had people say, "Oh, it sounds like marijuana. Where did you get that name from?" Oh, the people were coming after me. Because I guess I was trying to sound like an artist or have airs about me or something before. But it was just natural. It was like I put the name together. Mary and Elena, Mary Elena.
Right.
And then I was starting to tell you before about the Stylo G. And how I was mad at the industry, and I said I'm going to come out on hardcore rhythms but clean. I wanted to be on that line between Falco loves a dancehall. He could go comfortable into that. I can't. I'm clearly clean way. But I like the hardcore rhythms and I like hardcore messages, but I wanted them clean. So when the Stylo G came out, and like I said, I heard Spice, my bank account bigger than my front. And I thought Sean Paul was like, Dirty Cup, was boring on it. I was like, man, no, Stylo G could have done it by himself. I was angry. I said he should have just run it by himself. He didn't need them for the come up. So I hit that song. Yeah, man, I hit the remake, and it was Bad Mind Out. No, it was Mary Lena, Ras Dumpling. You ready for my loving? Bad mind out and hunting to keep your goodwill stunting. A rascal must do something. My heart it tick like dumpling. Blessed like Elsher Beach. Jubies must have something for a reach. Truth must make the total, cause the lies make me get antisocial. Raw straight, so we pass them. Oh Lord, Jah make the beauty in the blem. Never sell out for your friend. We have to make heaven in the end. Vroom, 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 Rastafari not pretend. Try them, can't beg no friend. Them two chatty set of men. Prayers to heaven, man, for send. Bad mind out and hunting to keep your Ras heart pumping. My heart it tick like dumpling. A rascal sweet like pumpkin. Bad mind out. Hunting. Yeah, man. So I probably could have blown that song. My son says stay humble, but I'm thinking music is not the place to stay humble. If you know you're talented, you have to express it. I'm still like a little kid, but I just love it so much. I'm not gonna lie. It came so strong. I wanted them to know I was a Ras, and then the whole, like I told you, the Clean Way Health channel is I try not to eat sugar, gluten. I love bread, but I'm affected by the gluten and the chemicals. So Ras Dumpling is because I do a different type of dumpling. I use brown rice flour and more organic type flours. So the whole message was I'm a Rasta, so I'm saying Ras. I didn't want to be lady or queen something. So to me, as a female, I found out I'm the only one so far, I think, that does it as a female to say Ras.
Mm-hmm.
And then the dumpling, and people go crazy about it because people introduce me on stage and they think I'm a man, and they're wondering if I'm gonna be a little weird coming out like Ras Dumpling.
Yeah, me never hear nobody call himself dumpling still. Me not gonna lie you. You know what I
True,
mean?
man.
So that's a one of a kind. You know what
Thank
I
you.
mean?
So
Like,
yeah, there's that thing that people say, well, food and yam. No, I'm straight. I'm militant. But again, Rasta dumpling is like the consciousness of clean
yeah,
eating.
so Falco is confirming, which I thought. I know the remix is with Sean Paul and Spice. That's what I was thinking.
Yes.
He actually did the original by himself. You know, so yeah, so
Yes, but he never promoted it. I don't know if he didn't do a video and then
no,
it's
I
gone.
mean,
Like I can't find
it actually kind of big, but I mean, I think he was just looking at it from more of a when you're talking about Sean Paul and Spice, you know, at that particular time, supposedly the queen of the dance hall, and then Sean Paul, you know what I mean, like
Multi-platinum artist.
multi-platinum
Yeah.
artist. It probably made more sense to him, regardless of what they were saying. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like literally if me forget a song with Shabba Ranks right now, I probably would find it hard to kind of tell Shabba say, yo, don't say this Spanish track or don't say that.
Of course, right.
You know what I mean? So I kind of understand the politics behind it all. You know what I mean? And it did actually help the song. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's a selective few probably are gonna analyze it as deeply as you did. You know what I
I
mean?
wonder. I think he might be big enough now. Sorry to cut you overall. I think he might have been bigger on his own. I think he kind of went up and flopped after that. To be
No,
honest,
but him could have never bigger than Sean Paul.
I know. I don't know. I don't know
He could
about
have
that.
never bigger than Sean Paul.
I have big links to Sean Paul and stuff. I would tell him that in person. I know that.
No,
But
I mean, you know, I mean, I'm not gonna say him could have never bigger than Sean Paul, but at that particular time, it just made more sense.
maybe.
Kind of just ride.
I don't know who created that, but that's my theory. I felt like if he held his lane, I feel he could have held his lane.
Right.
I felt he
No,
could
I
have held
mean,
his lane a little longer.
It possibly could have, but there's, I mean, like I said, you're entitled to your opinion. You know what I mean? So you know, and then and as a true lover of music, I'm not gonna dispute what you're saying, but from a political aspect, from a business standpoint, it
Everybody's
just made perfect sense to have
you can't go wrong with
the queen of the dance hall.
Yeah.
And even though they don't give Sean Paul the title as king, because Beanie Man and Yellow Man kind of all off that, but at the end of the day, when it comes to numbers,
yeah, man.
If you had to actually point out a king, it would be
Sean Paul and then Shaggy.
Shaggy
Yeah,
or-
Sean Paul and
Shaggy or
Shaggy
Sean
like
Paul.
this,
Yeah.
but Sean Paul now is
Exactly.
Because him international, him all over. He reached to markets way outside of reggae. And
Styler did have more hit song after that too. Cause remember him do song with Nicki Minaj and him do song with Carter.
Yeah, what was it? Touchdown in the airport? No, that wasn't
Yeah,
him.
yeah, exactly.
Touchdown in the airport.
The man
I know.
And a big song too, you know. Big song, you know.
The man did go on with himself, man.
True.
The man did go on with himself.
Look at my brother. See, my brother doesn't do that. Falco could get big collabs and stuff. We kind of have this philosophy, even with the label. So many people from the beginning are like, "Oh, you got to do a collab with this one, and you got to." We're not saying we're close to it. Like I've even had Luciano in person say he would do it, but then like their booking agent or their person that's with you, man, there's just so much politics that way. We just wanted to be different, clean way. We just wanted the energy to come to us, and it mostly did. Most of the artists that have came to us, really came to us. Yeah.
So I know that, you know, are there any artists who are directly signed to the label, or are you just like recording artists and putting them on rhythms? Because I noticed you said Gully Bop, and you know, as of late he's been in the news in regards to, you know, his illness and him needing help and things of that nature. So is he still affiliated with the label? And what's that situation? If
Okay.
Philly
So,
guys.
I've worked with a few artists. I never really signed anybody.
Okay.
I'm funny. I'm funny. I didn't want to own anybody. Even me, like I entertain and I work with some of the labels and they make some offers and schmooze. But ultimately, my mother, it's an Italian slang word, gabados. I'm very stubborn, very thick-headed. Yeah, and I really like to do things the hard way. My dad taught me, don't win the lottery, don't try to win no lottery. Just life is about the road and the process and the moment. So I'm not in a fast track, and we talk about these things a lot, like bringing on an artist, and so I think to sign an artist, to me, you need money first of all. Secondly, I can't sign anyone, I tell artists, because I'm an artist myself. So how can I give them that kind of attention? I feel like Falco's on every one of my rhythms. Falco signed. He goes beyond signing because we like trust each other. You know what I mean? I feel like he's entitled. Even when he did New Beginnings, he didn't have to do New Beginnings. He could have stayed Clean Way, and so our partnership and my goal is that the Clean Way, the publishing, will be a really strong division that someday will compete with Sony and maybe even others, because I feel like I'm doing something different. My paradigm is different than anybody ever did it in the music industry. I don't know that there's anybody who's been an artist and a label and a publisher like at the same time. Maybe
that's crazy. Like I said, we have to talk. We literally have to talk because that's the way our label is set up. Fury Music is a label. I'm an artist. We have a production. Production is under the same umbrella, and we also have a publishing company, Landfell Music. You know what I mean? So we big up Danya. You know what I mean? Anywhere you are, you know what I mean? But he kind of like left us high and dry, because he had other endeavors to pursue. So we never really got the technical aspect of it, but the same exact blueprint that you have in place is what we have in place right now.
And we also have the distribution.
Yeah, and we have a distribution through Sony Red. You know what I mean? So we just don't know what to do with all of the things that we have.
So much. But I'll tell you, I've been studying a lot. I've really been studying a lot lately. I got my Venn diagrams on. I've been studying more. I have an MBA, actually. I have a master's in business. I also have a master's in English literature, right? So that's like the fancy stuff. And then I'm like this little kid, I feel like I'm just in like the lab cooking music stuff. So this is my new studio. Let me give you guys a little here in Miami. So I voice myself. Most of my songs I voice myself.
Wow.
I do quite a bit. So the big thing now, and the big thing I'm going into to learn, is the sync deals and the licensing deals. So I feel kind of like Falco is kind of like unofficially signed to Clean Way, but he's more on a partnership level. It's again the paradigm. Vibes Machine is a videographer. He has a friend who's kind of like a manager. I don't even know how to explain it. Like we have people that have wanted to be our management, my management. Maybe sometimes they mess up, and I feel like I run my label like a big classroom, like the way I was, like a school teacher. I have artists that come around. Some of them really can't handle having a producer that's another artist. I feel like they get jealous. They come on a rhythm with me, and some of these artists have been there a long time, and I think they feel like they're gonna teach me, and they got so much to show me. And then they get next to me and are like, "Oh my God, this lady could teach me," and they get upset. Yeah, a few of the collabs after the fact, they like hate me. I don't know, and I just the same. So it's just a fascinating thing. Our thing was always like lift the world. So like 1/3 of the artists, we feel we're lifting them up. We're teaching them how to get their IP. I don't want their IPs. I had an artist come to me last year. He's just did a collab with Queen Lady Gangsta. I was kind of mad at him because he came to me at 17, and I told him I don't want to put anything out for you yet. I want you to get 18. I don't want to write you up on my name. I don't want to own anybody. I feel like it's like owning somebody. So I tell all my artists they should have their own label. They should sign. If they sign with anybody, should sign as the label. I teach them that the contract is the contract. So if you come on my rhythm, we don't need to have an explicit contract. You record it on my rhythm. Some of them voice on the rhythm, like Gully. Falco wrote that song for him, and it's my rhythm. But we put it up, and his producer tried to say they owned it. They even took down my channel. So we've been through there's so much fights, so much fights. But the big thing for publishing is the publisher's supposed to get 50 to 100% of your music. Some artists are signing with publishers thinking they need a publisher, and all the publisher's doing is just registering the song with BMI. They can do that themselves. A real publisher means they're protecting your music. They're making sure everything went out. They're making sure that the rhythm owner, everything is clear. You know, they're managing the splits. They're monitoring that you're getting paid, but the biggest part is they're getting you into sync deals, licensing deals.
Yeah,
that's where the money is.
Yeah, man. That's where. I mean, we are aligned with the Harry Fox agency as well. You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
we've got that far. You know what I mean? But
do they do that? Are they really doing that? I see some of these big agencies. How do you know if your song is really, if they're soliciting your song for that? Like,
no, that's what I'm saying. So we don't have, I'm probably the most savvy when it comes to, the three of us, me, Mickey Settings, and Daddy Lee Settings. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the one doing the research and things of that nature. They definitely do, they do licensing deals. I mean, we have gotten as far as being on an in-flight program on some airlines and things of that
that's
nature.
awesome. Okay.
So they definitely do that type of stuff.
Wasn't we in couple jukeboxes too?
Yeah, and some jukeboxes and stuff like that. So, they definitely do that. So what you call it? The smart TVs.
Smart TV, yeah.
And
oh, there's so many places. I had somebody have me do the voiceovers for all the on hold online. He said like the on hold is one guy who runs it. You can make like billions of dollars doing little 10-second voice clips with my rhythms. They I had somebody from Sony try to put me into that. Yeah, music is forever. It's fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, I tell people, they say there's 12 different ways to make money off of music, and only one of them involves actually selling the music. So there's so much other different ways. So Roots and Culture, the EP. You're headed to Jamaica when?
December. I think it's going to be the 15th or the 22nd. The next couple of days, hopefully, we're going to be putting the flyer together. We keep changing. There's just so many little details.
How many songs on the EP?
I have 2 out. I did Roots and Culture video. I did Evolution. I have a video which I've had trouble putting out. I think it's going to be maybe 4 or 5. My friend at Sony was like, keep it small. Maybe 3. I have 2 to 3 other reggae rhythms that I'm working on now that I'm adding some sounds to. That's kind of like written. So I'm not sure. Maybe 4 to 5, probably 5. I was comfortable with 5. But some of the radio record labels for some reason like maybe less, and put more into it. But I did the 2, and I'm really confident. So I do have 3 other rhythms right now, and almost like the songs are almost written already.
So we're in Jamaica. Are you gonna be having the release?
We did not pick the venue. I'm supposed to get 3 different. I was going to do it in Tower Hill. I have Boomer's HQ as a good friend, but unfortunately, when I spoke to some of my artists, there's still prejudice about some of those communities, even though Tower Hill is like so built up now and everything. So it looks like we're leaning towards doing it in Ochi. A few different venues have come up. Hopefully, in the next couple of days, we're going to decide. One was John Crow Lounge, I think, came up. Somebody said that was supposed to be a really nice place. But yeah, I wish we had the location and stuff today so we could tell you, but we're going to be doing a lot of press, to share.
As of today, you become a part of our extended family. So, once you lock in the date, all you have to do is just forward back over here and tell us, when, or give us a promo or whatever the case may be. And
I have an album too. I have an album right now of collabs, like 18 to 20 collabs. So I was going to do that party. But this whole weekend talking to my team, that's why I said, and looking at Falco, his trajectory, and I said, you know what? I have to be selfish. I can't I can't run all these artists on an album, you know, and push them up again. Not many of them have the, you know, invite them, but yeah, the roots and culture. And I think the reception of the song was massive too. Kenya, Ghana, you know, all over Africa. They really loved it, you know. When I say, you know, are they trying to kill reggae? It was actually Clevie and Stevie that realized that you played before with Magic Flute. That was at Clevie. It used to be Clevie and Stevie. Of course, Stevie passed away a few years ago. They're the same people that produced No, No, No. So that was awesome. So I did realize there. Shout out to Clevie and Basie. It was a major production. And OJ on the Beats did those rhythms. So it was like real reggae, you know, official, that drum roll and everything. So with Roots and Culture, I wanted to emulate that without the fancy studio. So I did all my little sounds. I told you, bowl of shells. I said I want to show that I can be real natural and compete with those big producers laying out all those fancy tracks. That was kind of the goal with that. So, yeah, my Roots and Culture launch. And again, we're hoping to do a tour. So it's going to be the EP launch, but we're really hoping to do the tour. We're going out to our sponsors right now to try to show them that we can do a successful show. And then the goal is right now, Kenya, Ghana. I performed in the Gambia already last year. Yeah, and we want to go back, you know, take it all over.
Big things, big things.
Thank you. Yes.
Big things.
So what can we expect from not only Ras Dumpling but Cleanway in the future?
So we really play out a clean way right now. We have Tanzania, Kenya making their own logos. I mean, like custom designing logos. We definitely have a lot of gear. I've been making some gear and testing it out. I've made some jewelry with the logos and stuff. So we're going to be going into that. We're going to continue to lift the world, you know, one artist at a time. And we really want to do more charitable. I really wanted the Clean Way Records and the Clean Way Records music to fund the Clean Way with Mary Elena, still the health channel. So we believe in micro investing, getting like $50, $100 grants around the world for people to do the same thing, play it forward. You know, I want to build studios around the globe. So we help Falco build New Beginnings. If he needs speakers and need items, we try to get that for him. We're trying to get more and more sponsorship so that there's just, you know, the family just keeps growing, you know, and we want to just keep teaching people to do the business side. You know, I'm working with people that are in the industry a long, long time and they don't even have an IP number. So I'll take the time sometimes I have 2 artists this week, Kenya and Tanzania. They try to do BMI for themselves. They're like, oh, Ras Dumpling, just do it for me. I'm like, guys, no, I can't do that. I mean, they're trusting me so much. Imagine that they want me to like get them their own social security. I'm like, guys, I don't want to do that. Even if I have the time to do it, I don't want that responsibility. I don't know if we'll ever even like sign an artist. I really like the independence. I really want
to appreciate the integrity, man. You know what I mean? And that's how we are over here at Fluid Music. You know what I mean? Like, if only we could just get, you know, a lot of these, you know, because we record a lot of big artists, you know what I mean? And one of the roadblocks that we run into in Jamaica, especially with the more established artists, is their unwillingness to sign. I'm like, why would you do a song? Now, we don't want to sign them as an artist. We just want them to sign the release. And it's like, that is even an issue.
Yes, thank you. But you guys are Jamaican though, from birth, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I go really hard with that, and I can understand the whole, you know, history of slavery and how those things were robbed for them. But they need somebody to teach them today. All the more reason they should be afraid of it. I think I'm one of the big people to teach them that, because I'm still afraid. You know, I still have these, you know, like natural instincts in me to kind of be afraid of that. Afraid of money, to be honest. I hate money. But right now I'm going for it. I'm going for it hard. And I know we're going to make a lot of money. But yeah, I just think it's a philosophy that they kind of have to learn. And I will give you one tip, that this is what BMI taught me. I give them a usage agreement. And basically, even when we had the problem with Gully Bop, all I had to show, he didn't have to sign anything. I just had the document as the person that owns the rhythm, you have all the say, really.
Okay.
So nobody's ever going to fight you and say, oh, why are you paying him for that song? You know, these artists are kind of crazy. They're really crazy.
Yeah.
They're really kind of stupid that way. Like, I'm going to give you a simple solution right now from all my studying. This is what they said I should do. And I really want to do this going forward. So I want to work with the reggae artists only until Falco take the dance hall, because I don't really like the hardcore stuff. I really want my thing clean. When if an artist says they're going to go in studio on one of my rhythms, this is really what we should have from them. Right away, I want their IP, I want their legal number, I want their email address, I want a great image. Okay. Ideally, that artist should be able to go voice themselves, because if they're not willing to voice themselves, that means they're not investing in themselves. Right. I'm already giving them a rhythm. My rhythms are published, copywritten in US. To me, just to go on my rhythm is worth $2,000 for them. That's how much I give them, I feel. Then I give them what's called a usage agreement. So I give them a document. Right now, I'm giving it to them like unlimited. But I think I'm going to add this stipulation that in 5 years, they can negotiate buying. I think that's kind of standard. And it's something we shouldn't hide from people. So BMI told me to do this. So I basically say, you know, Cleanway Records, such and such, you know, Falco de General is on the Conscience rhythm with the song No Heaven on Earth. He is expected to exploit that song, you know, going forward, and can perform it in any which way for the full rights to the song. And now we're going to add, like, in 5 years, he can buy the master to that song. That's really all you need. That's a contract, because there's an implied contract that they voiced on your. It's like having a baby. You don't have a contract between a man and woman to make a baby, but the baby was born. So I treat each one of my songs as a baby. I've been told as a publisher. Sorry, I'm going fast. Go ahead.
No, man, no, me understand that, and that's a good way if you approach it. You know?
So I'm told as a publisher, my job is once the song goes out to keep it up. I've had artists, they try to sabotage their own projects sometimes. I don't know if they get scared. I've had some people, I mentioned contracts, and then I'm like, I'm going to give you 50%. They freak out. I'm like, but it's 50%.
It's like battered wife syndrome, man. I mean, you know, these guys have been exploited and ill-treated for so long that when somebody actually comes to them with something that really makes sense,
that's a way to say it. Yeah,
you
man,
know,
I like
it's like they look at you like,
no, it's got to be some kind of,
exactly.
you know,
angle.
Like, love me for what? What y'all love me for? Keep your mom buckle and love her.
That's true. That's true. That's true. I like that, man. I like
it. You're not gonna rock me like everybody else. Rock me like everybody else, no?
I love it. You know what? I think it's built into the Jamaican culture, and I could see that in parents. And I had a friend who was a bad guy, and when my kid's father and I weren't together, he came around, and he told me that he gave my son a hard time. He said, "I give your son a hard time because I don't want to love him. I don't want to hurt him." Yeah, that's built so much into the culture, that tough speak. But I think Jamaica has to relook at that. Mothers and fathers really need to relook at that, because I think you're only preparing your kid for Jamaicans. You're not preparing them for the world. And I think Jamaica really has to start. I learned so much from the music. I mean, I love Yard. You know, I love Yard. I say I'm a born again Yardie. Some people that don't like that. We're born again because they think religious. But I believe it, you know. I just was so welcome there until I entered this music. Oh my God. So before the music, I was the queen. They rolled out the carpet. Nobody ever tried to disrespect me. This music thing is like free for all, you know. So we want to put some standards in, you know. I think they're going to see the tough love when they see Ras Dumpling bust, and see that she's still promoting their music and still loving them, and still, you know, I kind of have a thing. If you cuss me out, I'm not going to work with you anymore. And down the road, the team is going to look at it, and maybe you're going to lose your royalties over it. We document what we do. And some of them are going to get hurt and realize, like, you can't cuss out the producer of a label and a president for no reason and think you're going to keep 100% of your royalties on the project they gave you.
Well, Ras Dumpling, all I can tell you is that, once you forward over here, you become a part of the family. The world may know you as Marilana Ras Dumpling, but whenever you come over here, we will refer to you as Ras Dumpling. Settings.
Yes,
we know. So
I love it.
We become an ambassador not only for your brand but also for the Cleanway brand, You know what I mean? So that means to say when the EP drop, when you have the location, you know what I mean? You need to forward back over here. You know what I mean? Make we know where the location there. You know what I mean? If we can be there in the physical, I mean, obviously we do have people on the ground in Jamaica. Ochi is not is within arm's reach of where we actually are located in Jamaica.
Where's your place? Where are you guys? Can you give us a
Well, we're in Philadelphia right now. You know what I
Okay.
mean? But
Shout out Philly.
what?
Shout out my
Yeah, man. Whenever we're there Jamaica, we're there between Clarendon and Runaway Bay,
Okay.
right out of CLM Runaway Bay, which is only like a half an hour to
Okay.
no more than 40 minutes from Ochi.
That's good. The
You know what I
family
mean?
house is up in Manchester, so not bad.
Right.
But no, up
Yeah.
that way. Marco, we have a DJ. We have a big artist. We're gonna shout him out too. The Only Alpha. He's the one who mentioned the 17. He's part of the Magic Flute family, and he's got a collab with Queenie right now. He's in Clarendon. Yeah, man, the Only Alpha. I got a few tracks with him.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
well, so
He's the closest I got to signing.
we
but I know
definitely are gonna need some of those artists over here on the platform. So we're looking forward to having them here.
And we definitely gonna need her back over here.
Yeah, we
too.
definitely. Yeah, she's definitely gonna come back
We
and tell us
I do
when.
a show, guys, too. If you don't know, I'm starting back this week. I was actually even hired to be a DJ in June right here at Sugar 95.7.
Oh, wow.
I was loving it, and then I decided I'm not doing it. We want to do a Cleanway Records radio too. You asked me what's coming, so we think a lot of people have said we need to do that, and I'll have other DJs do it. I'll just come in to do guest appearances and stuff and help manage it. I just really want to be the brain. My brain is so creative. I don't have the physical to be in every single thing.
Man, yeah, one thing I learned about things, you gotta put your focus on one particular thing or a few things. You can't just they're all over the place because we lose.
We tried a lot.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
So I'm starting back this Thursday, the 7th, and I have a nice lineup for this month. We're booked the whole month and everything. It's Cleanway and Sound. And I would do it Thursday nights although I might look to do it this way. We were doing it on Instagram and YouTube, but I'm looking at TikTok. I've been getting a lot of people on my
Yeah, TikTok is definitely a big market.
I've been getting like 200-300 on my lives on TikTok. I'm like, today I went on Instagram. There was nobody there. I said, you guys shadow me. So yeah, we got to do it on all. And I want to make it more like the podcast. I love this setup. Congratulations to you guys.
Yeah, man, give thanks, man. We're actually approaching our 3-year anniversary. You know what I mean? So you're more than welcome to
We're the same. Almost exactly the same. I think April of 24 will be our 3-year birthday, Cleanway Records. Yeah.
Yes, September the 19th or the 20th is actually our 3-year anniversary. Usually have all of our family over here, whoever is available for that date. So it might be a live where we have up to like 10, 15 artists on all at once. You know what I mean? And everybody's playing
I think I saw you guys do that recently too.
Yeah, definitely.
How many can you get? Can you
we can do up to 10 all at once. You know what I mean? But what we've been doing for the past 3 years is having like probably 10 come over, showcase some of their music, do a freestyle, whatever, and then they pop out and then another set pops in. You know what I mean? So we've had up to like maybe 10, 20 artists on the live,
we love it. Isn't that the best part? Because to me, what I love about it is I don't have the time to talk to people on that level all the time. So to make that special time and go in depth with artists is man, it's so rewarding. I mean, it's so amazing. And some real surprising things happens, sometimes from that relationship.
And that's how we feel right now talking to you.
Thank you. Yeah.
So Ras Dumpling, big up yourself for your earth strong. You know what I mean? Cleanway Records.
Big up yourself.
Doing big things in the business. Falco the General, you already know the ships.
My new beginnings.
Give thanks to everybody who made this possible. One Mermaid World.
When I get the dub plate.
You do dub plates?
Of course, yes.
All right. Well, we need a live dub plate from Ras Dumpling right now.
Okay. I got a list right now. I'm working with Dada Venom out of Jamaica, but he's in I think he's in Cayman right now. I'm supposed to do a couple of dubs for like weeks now and a couple of videos.
We need you to do a live dub plate right now.
Oh, right now. Oh my gosh. Overall settings.
You don't
Oh
need
my
a ready man
gosh.
nothing. You can just give me a acapella.
All right. It's been a struggle all my life. I tell you, don't worry about a thing. Don't worry, we're all right. We're all right. We're all right. We're listening to overall settings and we're all right. I'm so good about it. It's hard to bring it
Mother Road, Mother Road, Mother Road, Mother Road. Ladies and gentlemen, you already know Marilana Ras Dumpling settings. Big up yourself. Check we out on the other side.
Overall settings got the roots and culture. Teach the children roots and culture. Roots and culture. There is no
that song
other.
is going to my playlist.
Overall, Don got the style tonight. Gotta sing. Yeah. Take me a little minute to, be creative. Dubs take a little more than like a regular freestyle.
We're gonna link you off the ear, okay?
Yeah,
Yes, sir. I'm going to see a Doors concert tonight. A Doors, so you say all different types of music, so rock and roll, right here in Pompano Beach tonight. Yeah, man, at Caluppi's.
Well, big up yourself by your earth stang, yeah, mama.
Enjoy.
Salute. Yeah, man. Thanks, guys.
Many more.
Welcome to the family.
All right.
All right.
Oh.
Selassie, I give thanks.